Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of JoyBaking.com. Today we're going to make lemon cupcakes. This is a really unique cupcake because, as you can see from the inside, we have a vanilla flavored cupcake, we have a lemon flavored whipped cream frosting, and then we have this really cool little pocket of lemon curd, so that when you bite into this cupcake, you're going to get this really burst of lemon flavor. It's really wonderful. So the first thing you will need is around a cup, 240 milliliters of lemon curd. Now you can just buy it, or you can make your own. Now I do have a recipe as well as a video on the website showing you how to do the lemon curd. And what I like to do is to make it the day before, at least the day before. So that way it is time to chill in the refrigerator overnight, get nice and cold, plus that, and then it will thicken as well. And the great thing about homemade lemon curd is you can make it up to a week in advance. So once you have your lemon curd, then we'll start the cupcake. So preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 180 degrees Celsius, and you will need a 12-cup muffin pan. Now you can just lightly butter the muffin cups or spray them with one of those nonstick sprays, or you can do what I've done here, and that is to line with these paper liners. So once you've done that, to start the vanilla cupcake batter, if you have an electric stand mixer like I have here, use the paddle attachment, or you could just use a hand mixer. Now this is a really easy batter to make. It's kind of like a dump cake. So what we're going to do is just dump all our dry ingredients into the bowl. So you will need 1.5 cups, which is 195 grams of all-purpose flour. You may know that as plain flour, and just put that in there, along with 1 cup, 200 grams of granulated white sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I like to use a kosher salt, and 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And then all I'm going to do is just mix these together, maybe 20-30 seconds. Okay, simple enough. So now we're just going to dump our wet ingredients in here. Now I have a 1/2 cup, it's 113 grams of, I'm using unsalted butter. I prefer the unsalted butter. I like the flavor better. You could use salted. If you use salted, I would probably leave out that 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now you want to make sure this is room temperature, like really quite soft, as you can see from when I press, really quite soft. And cut it into small pieces like I've done here. And just put that in there. And then along with 2 large eggs, and again have those at room temperature, 1.5 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. And try to use the pure, it is better flavor than the artificial ones. And I'm using a 1/2 cup, which is 120 milliliters. Now you can use a sour cream, or you could use a yogurt. I'm using yogurt here today. Actually, I'm using like a Greek yogurt. Now I'm using a full fat. And again, have that at room temperature. Okay, and now all we're going to do is beat these until the batter is nice and smooth and kind of satiny. That will only take, do it at medium speed, but that will only take maybe 30 to 60 seconds. And scrape down the sides of your bowl if you need to. And that's it. I mean, isn't that a great batter? Okay, so as you can see, it's nice and smooth and kind of a satiny texture. So now what we're going to do is just fill our muffin cups with the batter. You can use 2 spoons, you can use like a small measuring cup, or I'm using an ice cream scoop. The important thing is to try to get the same amount of batter in each muffin cup so that they will bake in the same amount of time. Okay, so there we have that. So now we're going to put it into our preheated oven somewhere like 20-25 minutes. So they'll have a nice light golden color, and a toothpick inserted into the center will come out clean. Okay, so our vanilla cupcakes are now done. As you can see, they're nicely golden brown, and a toothpick inserted into the center will come out clean. So what I would do is let them cool about 5 minutes, and then I'll do it now, but these are a little hot, so let it cool about 5 minutes. And then take them out of the pan and put them on a wire rack and let them cool completely. And once that's done, then we will start the frosting. So once our cupcakes have cooled completely, we're going to fill them with lemon curd. So how you do that is you take your cooled muffin, and then we want to take the center out of the cupcakes. Now you could use a melon baller like this, or just a little spoon, or even just like a half a teaspoon. And then just, this melon baller really works good. Just kind of, you can really go as deep as you want. If you want more lemon curd, you can make a really deep hole. So there you have it. And then once you do that to all of them, like I've done here, then we're going to put a little dollop of lemon curd into the center. So now, if you want to do it, you could put it in a pastry bag like I've done here, and then just snip off the end. Or what normally I just do is take a little spoon and just put it in there. You don't have to be too fussy, because we're going to cover, if you slop a little, it doesn't matter, because we're going to cover the top of the cupcake with the whipped cream frosting, so don't worry too much about that. So, and that's all you do, all of them. So now we'll do our whipped cream frosting. If you have a stand mixer like I have, you want a whisk attachment, or you could just do it with a hand mixer. Now what I like to do is, if you have a metal bowl, put the metal bowl and the whisk in the freezer like 15-30 minutes to get it nice and cold, and that way your cream will really whip to its full volume. So what we want is to start with 1 cup, 240 milliliters of heavy whipping cream. That is cream with a 35 to 40% butterfat content, and you want it cold. And just pour it in there. Along with, I'm putting just a little sugar, about 1 tablespoon of granulated white sugar. You could use more or less, according to how you like it. So what we're going to do is we are going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon curd to our whipped cream. But what we first want to do is just whip our cream just until it starts to thicken and almost soft peaks. Okay, so it's just starting to thicken, which is what we want. Now, when you're whipping heavy cream, always start like on low speed and then gradually increase it to high, because otherwise you'll have cream little splatters of cream everywhere. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to start with now have your lemon curd cold, about 2 tablespoons of the lemon curd. And we can add more if we want a little stronger lemon flavor. But we'll start with the 2 tablespoons. Okay, I'm just going to beat that in. Okay, so I'm going to check that and taste it. It's got a soft lemon flavor. I think I'm going to add just a little more. Maybe a little less than a tablespoon. Now, we want to be careful. You don't want to over whip your cream. We want it to be stiff enough that we can pipe it if you want to do that. But we don't want it to turn into butter. So I'm just going to beat it just a little more. Okay, I'm going to check it. Sometimes what I do too to make sure I don't over whip is I actually do the last little bit by hand with a wire whisk. Well, I think we're good. And as you can see, that's about what we're looking for. We could pipe that, or if you want, at this point, if you don't want to pipe it, you could just, that over the way, you could just take, and spoon it on top, have it like a dollop. You don't have to get fancy. So what I'm using is I have a pastry bag, and I'm just using the plain tip, round plain tip. In fact, if you didn't have a plain tip, you could just cut off the end of your pastry bag and just use that. I mean, that'll give you a plain. Or if you want, of course, you could use a star tip or something fancy if you want. And I don't feel, because it's whipped cream and it will start to soften pretty quickly, I don't put too much cream into the bag. I'd rather do a few and fill my bag up with more cream and do it that way. Otherwise, you may have to re-whip it because it does tend to soften and then lose its shape. So just press it down until you start to see come off the tip. Then we want to make sure we get all the air out of the bag because otherwise you won't get a nice even pipe. So looks like that's good. And then turn the end of the bag and then hold it in this hand and then use your other hand as a guide. And then you can kind of do it however you want, but I'm just going to go around like so. Let's do one more for you. Like that. Isn't that pretty? So then, just have our plate here, put on there. Now, if you want, you could put sprinkles, or I have these little yellow candy thing. I'm just going to put right on top. And there you have it. Now, if you're not going to serve these straight away, you do need, because it's whipped cream, we do need to store them in the refrigerator. And you can actually, of course, cupcakes are always at their best the day they're made, but you can cover and store them for a few days in the refrigerator. So, until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com.